typical what people will
No
think.
cardiovascular
issues, no breathing
even
issues.
though my dad died from a heart attack, it runs in his family, stuff like that. Blood issues run in our family, but I never, but thyroid.
They giving you the
is a
wrong
big
testing,
thing.
big thing.
YouTube, good morning, good noon, good night. It's your boy Rowdy, and we back with another video. Listen, so we gonna be reacting to The Breakfast Club. They got a special guest, and it's basically a follow-up from what we did a couple weeks ago. And I'm gonna wait and just show you guys who this is because it's really mind-boggling. But once you hear people say, and kind of give a more personal, approach, or, give a little bit more about themselves, it allows you to kind of not necessarily feel, it allows you to understand as opposed to pointing a finger, laughing and judging, because there's a lot to judge here. And, we don't want to sit there and continue to down that road to sit there and just bash. At some point, we need to have some kind of understanding of what this person is thinking. And this is what podcasts allows, because you get on a podcast, and I'm not going to lie, there's no holds bar. You're going to say whatever because the people who, especially if they can ask questions, they'll get it out of you. So we got a special guest today on this podcast, and I'm excited for this follow-up. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Dank Deos, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you,
feeling?
Big Dank? How you feeling today?
I'm good.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
When we first heard about your story, there was a lot of jokes made. Everybody made jokes, including us. But when I heard you was a rapper, I was like, why not have her up here and have a conversation? See if this could, I don't know, help something. Right? Make the most of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Where you from?
In other words, try to get some clout because she popping. Ain't gonna lie, she popping. Everybody talking about her for real.
Detroit.
Tell us about. Well, no, this is your question, Nibby. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is what you do.
For people that don't know, a lot of people, of course, you're from Detroit. You're a rapper from Detroit, so you're highly known in Detroit in a lot of different places. But you got publicized recently because of an incident that you had with Lyft, a Lyft driver. You ordered a Lyft, and you could tell.
I ain't want to go there. I just wanted to ask you. You always say to explain for the people who don't know who Big Dank is.
No, but people will have to connect the dots. Go ahead.
How long you been doing music, Dank? How long you been doing music?
I've been doing music for a long time. I took it seriously in 2016. So yeah.
And what got you into music?
My dad did music, and after he died, I just took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rapper?
Yeah.
And you were in Deb's house as well.
Rest his soul, but I'm not gonna lie. Based off of the genetics that you can see, I'm not gonna lie. You could probably guess why he moved on. Again, rest his soul.
Well,
I was.
how was
On
that?
what?
Deb's house, a lifetime.
Deb
Oh,
It was good. It was a learning experience. Yeah, it was a learning experience. It was okay.
Did it help or hurt you in any way, like your music?
I'm doing the same thing I was doing before. It was okay.
You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to shit on nobody.
It's cool.
Because you had a couple moments on there, and I saw one clip where
did.
you were really teary eyed.
Yeah, I was
she
teary-eyed
tough, or
because
was it like what was that about?
Well,
I feel like-
explain what Deb's house is. 'Cause
Yeah, so
people
Deb's
that
house
don't know
is
what
a
it
show where she brings Deb Antony brings
Waka
the rap,
Flocka's mom.
Waka Flocka's mom. She's discovered some of the biggest and the best, Nicki Minaj, a bunch of people, but she brings the rap girls on and she tries to coach them through building their careers. And then at the end, there's one that she picks that she focuses on. You didn't make it to the end, but you were on the show.
Yeah.
But one of the clips that I remember seeing going viral from you was when you were breaking down. You were really upset. Talk about that moment and just what the experience was
So
like.
I just feel like I was put in so a lot of people said I was being difficult, but I feel like I was put in a difficult situation. I was in a store I could fit nothing, so when I finally found something that I could fit, it was like, oh, that's not a boss. Take that off, so I felt some type of way, But yeah, I just feel like I was put in a difficult situation, and I was seeing everybody able to fit things, and I'm getting frustrated because I can't find nothing. I don't want to make nobody mad.
And that's the unfortunate thing because a lot of women go through this. I mean, men go through it too, but at the end of the day, we'll throw some stuff on and be cool. Because what makes a man isn't necessarily our appearance. But as a woman, it's unfortunate because even with all of the selections that they have, there are some women that are built and they are built uniquely where they may be top heavy or bottom heavy, and even the regular clothes, they can't wear them. Sometimes they got to go to certain places like the Lane Bryants or the Rainbows or whatever. But she's even more so unique because she's much bigger than most of the average people. So I can definitely see her having some kind of struggle. And I feel like there might have been a bit of trolling because of how big she is. But at the end of the day, when you get to a certain size, when you get over about 400 pounds, and I believe she about 5'2", something like that. She can't be no more than 5'5". She's short. But anyway, at that size, at that height, you did that to yourself. And I'm not trying to be one of those, people that pile on, because you piled on enough. But I don't want to sit there and, beat around the bush and say, oh, well, it's just, like the regular. No, you did this to yourself, sweetheart. You got to do a little bit better, man.
I want to, look good and stuff like that. So that's why I started crying. I was a little frustrated.
You walked in and, you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
But we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, I feel like we should. Like, why not? I feel like a lot of times people think that bigger people, obese, the F word people should just be in a house. When it's like,
The
we
F
not.
word?
Yeah, the F word. I'm not
The
about
word
to.
that you can't say in your house,
Yeah.
fat.
You don't like it?
Oh!
I'm not saying that word.
Yeah, we
I
don't
didn't
use
know
that word in my house
okay.
either.
I thought you were talking about the gay slur. I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
No.
now.
But
Of course, he thought she was talking about the gay slur, but I digress.
I just feel like it should be accommodated. Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
No, we don't. And big people should not be accommodated if they're grandiose. If you're like big, like regular big, like even people who are tall, there are certain things that they do so they can accommodate themselves. So, for instance, in the situation that you was in, a tall person wouldn't typically get into no compact car. They would probably get a Uber XL so that they can have some kind of space. So I'm not understanding why you feel like you should be accommodated. No, you should make sure that you are comfortable for you. Other people aren't going to make you feel good. You should be able to make yourself feel good. And if that's a space where you're unable to do so, get into another space. It's common sense, sweetheart.
All those other communities. I just feel like we outside. If we inside, is get up. Why you in a house? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. When we outside, it's like, why you not in a house?
Well, people would say, okay, John.
Who actually told you that? Because, that's crazy. I don't believe that, F people should stay in the house.
That's how it is. We go outside and people looking at us crazy like, we getting stared at for what? Because we big.
I know a lot of times, even saying it with how Liz, although she's lost a lot of weight now, how it could be like some of the clothes that the F people wear, with things hanging out and y'all, try to wear things that the smart, the S people be wearing.
I don't live in a world where the skinny people when the F people. That's not my reality. I am a human being. I am regular. Just because I'm outside with my like I said, I've been doing this a long time. And when I said I've been doing this a long time, I've been putting on for people like me for a long time. I did a naked, excuse me. I did a naked photo shoot in 2017. Now all the big girls showing their stomach. They showing skin. The people.
Who in the hell? I'm not even going to do it.
Wasn't doing that. We had porn stars doing it, but we didn't have regular people doing it. Now they doing it. I just feel like I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna be cute with it too. You know.
I think part of it is like yourself. You're speaking up about it. A lot of bigger people don't speak up about it, right? Mac, who's one of the producers up here, was a lot bigger. He lost a lot of weight, but I didn't know all the problems that he had until he spoke about it, because it's just something that you don't think about it. Like he said, he would get on a plane and it would be difficult. You know.
Yeah.
He said he would go to the gym. It would be difficult. But those are things that we just don't think about, because I think people don't ever make it a thing. So the fact that this incident happened puts it on people's minds, so you can tell what you have to deal with, because, you know, these are some of the things that we don't have to deal with.
Again, the plane situation, that's not my reality. Anytime shout out to Southwest, because they accommodate bigger people. If you need 2 seats, they're going to give it to you for free. If you pay for 2 seats, they're going to refund you.
Really?
I don't have that problem. Like, and,
didn't know that.
even
I
if
that's what I'm saying. We don't speak
even
about
like
it.
last time I went to Delta, they said
Delta charge you.
you might need 2 seats, ma'am, but we're gonna let you get on this time. I never have a problem with my seating when I get on a plane. Like, I never have problems. Like, when I come into a room, I demand my respect, and I'm sweet. I'm a nice person, so I feel like people respect that. I respect you, you respect me. I never it's never an issue with me. Like, the issue be when like the staring or the judging or, you know, stuff like that. And then a lot of people will look at me and be like, oh, she eat, she do this, she do that all the time. That's not my reality either. Like,
You don't eat?
I do eat,
I'm
but
about
I
to say,
don't
come
just
on
sit
now.
down. I'm not 600-pound life. That's not my life.
Got you.
Okay.
You know?
I think it's more so like coming from a health standpoint too, Dank. You feel me? Like, have you ever had anybody that like one of your friends maybe that try to get you, like, help you to lose weight, or, you know, or fear for your life, you know, or like anything?
do you
like
wanna
your
lose
knees
I
or
really
your
don't.
heart,
Yes, I
or-
do. I really don't. Like,
Want to lose weight?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh.
I really don't have friends for real. I have like
Okay.
family and people that's been around me for a long time. Me and my cousins, we go to the gym. I got a gym at my house. I go to the gym. You know, I got workout videos.
You also
know?
have your weight specialist here with you. I
Yeah,
heard you
I-
lost 80
I
pounds
do.
recently, right?
Yeah, I actually
congratulations.
did.
What's up, yo?
But people be forgetting, like, when I was little, I wasn't skinny. My brothers are skinny. I grew up with 2 skinny
Oh,
brothers.
you mean like when you were younger?
Yes,
Not
I
when you
was never.
younger.
I was never small. You know, I was okay.
How much did you weigh when you came out? You remember?
When I did what?
Like when you came out as a baby?
As a rapper.
No, as a baby. She was born.
Oh, baby.
born.
I don't know, but I had a lot of baby fat on me. Like, you see some pictures, I had baby fat, but I was really active. You know, I did plays, I did singing, and I did cheering, and, you know, I did stuff like that. I was just a big baby, you know.
So a lot of people have this reality, you know, they start out and they grow and they're like, you know, chunky. I mean, I'm fat, and I was always a little bit pudgy. I got a little bit bigger when I got out of high school, and then, you know, I try to lose a little bit of weight, you feel me? So it's not to sit there and try to pile on and bash her, but at the end of the day, a lot of people have gone through what you are going through. But most people don't get to the size that you are at. So at some point, you have to understand how much undisciplined that you are, and how much that you're just doing whatever. No, you're not listening to people. See, even when she asks you, do you have friends and stuff like that? The answer is yes. And the answer to thoroughly answer her question is, the reason why you don't have friends is because they don't treat you right because you big. So you only keep a small circle of people in what you would call family, because they're going to coddle you. But at the end of the day, it does sound good, because it sounds like you're doing what you need to do. Sounds like you're trying to lose weight. You're trying to, you know, change yourself. And there's nothing better than that. We love change. We love self-improvement. And that's good. So it does not look like, I mean, there's 2 sides to it. On one hand, it looks like you do still have a little bit of overconfidence, but at the same time, I can understand, because we all have gone through what you go through. In some, you know, as far as, you know, being fat and stuff like that. But it's not an issue when people say fat. I feel like the issue is we're putting such a negative connotation on it. If you are black, you're black. If you are big, you're big. If you're short, you're short. If you're fat, you're fat. Now, if you go further and say other things, like a lot of people, including myself, said some things, kind of piling on and bashing when you had that original video. Now, things that some of the people had said, okay, I'll give you that. But there's nothing wrong with people calling you what you are. You have to understand that. You don't sit there and that's where the society's starting to veer off. If you are something and you don't like it and you can change it, change it. And again, it sounds like you are, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse. But don't be upset when people are calling you who you are. Period.
And see, I like big babies because like the skinny babies, they be a little too corporate for me.
Yeah, but sometimes it could be cute, but it's gonna stick on them, and it's gonna, it could stick on them. But
you always look like a baby when you chubby though, no matter how old you get.
Yeah,
like you have a baby face.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents they did all they could. Like my brothers was skinny. I grew up with skinny kids. Before my dad died, they kept me in the hospital for like a few months, and I actually did get down. I got down to almost 300 pounds. After my dad died, I gained 150 pounds plus more.
You was grieving, depression.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I just know I was taking care of my mama and my brothers, and I was doing me. I was in the streets, and I was just trying to make sure everything was okay. Then one day I went to the doctor. But look though, y'all want to know what's crazy? I got up to like 598, and I didn't even know it, but I was still doing stuff that I thought I could do. Like I was still trying to go to the gym, still trying to walk around and stuff like that. I realized it was a problem when I couldn't do what I used to do no more, and
like
I'm
what?
breathing like I could put my own shoes on or whatever, but it was harder. I didn't want to get up, but I pushed myself to get up. When I started feeling like, dang, I gotta push myself to get up, I went to the doctor. I was 598. I said, oh, hell no. As I told my mom, I was like, I'm never gonna get to 600 pounds. If I get to 600 pounds, I'm gonna give up. So when I was 598, I said, oh no.
That's actually so sad to hear. It's heartbreaking to hear that because she was going through a loss. And a lot of people do when they have a major loss. Some things like trauma kind of breeds super negative behavior. So I can definitely understand where she's coming from with that. And it's really heartbreaking to hear that because she had that loss and she was taking care of other people. But that does not mean that you should have been eating. 150 pounds is a whole person. So there are some, issues that you can say, okay, I gained 50 pounds, eating and, because of the grieving. But once you get to a certain point, especially seeing how she said she was down to almost 300 pounds, and she probably was real mobile at that point in time because she moves really well for her to be a little under 5 right now. So what I'm so confused as to what is her diet like? What are the things that you're eating? Because if you're putting on 150 pounds, every time you sit, you're eating a super excess of calories, and that is a problem. Because most people engorge themselves, especially in America, but they don't get to the point where they're 500 pounds, 600 pounds. So what on earth are you eating, or were you eating, excuse me, because you said you on a weight loss journey, so things are changing. But golly, 150 pounds?
And I'm sure doctors have told you, like, you need to probably lose weight for health reasons.
Of course, of course. But the funny thing is, every time I go to the hospital and I get tests ran, it's like there's nothing. Like, as far as high cholesterol, like the typical what people think.
No cardiovascular
issues, no breathing
even
issues.
though my dad died from a heart attack, it runs in his family, stuff like that. Blood issues run in our family, but I never, but thyroid.
They giving you the
is a
wrong
big
testing,
thing.
Big Nate.
We're trying to figure it out. We're going to
How
figure it
old are
out.
you?
Wait,
29.
29. Okay.
I was about to say because I have
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I have a friend that deals with thyroids, and she also has a lot of trouble keeping weight down. Like a lot of, it's like a big thing for her. She's done multiple surgeries too, and she's still.
A lot of women have thyroid problems. They don't get to 600 pounds. Come on, let's keep it a buck. I get we're trying to relate to this, and at the same time, it's okay to understand and feel sorry, but we do not relate to this because this is an existential situation. She is huge. This isn't thyroids, it's that she eating too many thyroids. She need to put them thyroids down.
Still gains the weight back because with the thyroid.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So you said you do want to lose the weight. What are you doing to lose it, and do you mind? And the reason I asked, do you mind, is take us to Big Mac again. Big Mac lost about 150 pounds.
I'm not sure. He lost a lot.
He lost about,
visibly
but
lost
he's not happy in his skin.
No,
he was
he's
happy.
not.
All right, man. We're not going to get into that. Full video I'm going to put down in the description. But this is a good eye-opening conversation. And I do appreciate the fact that they had her on there to hear her out instead of, us pointing the finger. Like I said earlier, it's real easy when you don't have the opportunity to be able to see what these people say. And from what it sounded like, life was just happening. And to a certain extent, I do understand, but again, being to the point where she did get down to almost 300 pounds and then gained all that weight based off of how she told that story. I don't know if that's how it happened, but that's how she told it. So that's how things happen. That's an enormous issue. So it is heartbreaking to understand why she had that happen and the trauma that she's probably still to this day having to go through. And it's sad. I'm not 100% sure if the doctors that she's going to are scared of her and scared to tell her the truth. But at the end of the day, it's okay, especially if you're at a certain size. If you're like, regular big, like regular obese, you can see that there's some issues that you might be having, especially once you get over 30, over 40. But this isn't regular big. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it has to be because of a diet or some situation, not just because of thyroids, not because of health conditions. She eating too much. You don't get that big eating regular portions. And she says she got skinny family members. So somebody's giving her this food and she's feeding herself. We've seen my 600 pounds. We've seen my 600 pound life. They're not getting big like that off of happenstance. They getting big off of the eating way too much. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you watched it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll give you all some more content in the next video. All right, peace.